Hey, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Neek, and in today's video, I have yet another tutorial for you this week. And today, this tutorial is going to be on a brand new client. This is his first time booking with me, and I really honestly was not even sure if I was going to be able to do his hair. You know, he traveled maybe about 30-40 minutes. I really was hoping that I was going to be able to deliver. So look, go ahead and make sure that you watch this video to the end because I was quite surprised myself. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any future uploads. For this tutorial, I am just going to actually be doing 4 braids going straight back, but we wanted to try a little bit of a design. He had this design, I think he might have just brought me like a photo or something like that. And so the design comes out to be like somewhat of an exaggerated like zigzag part. I'm like, okay, we'll go ahead and try it. So you can see I'm just using my gel like I normally would. If you notice, I did start off in the middle. So that is the way that I start off every style for the most part, is with the middle part, and then I will work my way out from there. I absolutely love this comb because the front end of it is so nice for parting and separating the hair because there's a space, but the tail end is so sharp and it comes naturally like that, so you don't have to like sharpen it anyway on your own or anything like that. I've never done that before. I would kind of be careful doing that because you can't really control, I guess, how sharp it gets. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but I love the way that this comb just naturally comes. I use the tail end. The tail end is sharp, so you do have to be careful, but this is like my go-to comb. I'm gonna go ahead and finish mapping out the other side of his part. I'm using the side I've already created as a guide. And anytime you're doing any design braids or design parting, like once you figure out one side, then you just try to go to the other side and map it out to be the same, except for obviously it's going to be on the other side. It does take me a little while. I really like to take my time when it comes to parting because I want it to be as symmetric as possible. If you are doing designs, make sure that you take your time. Make sure that they line up. You want your points to line up. You want your curvatures to line up. You want them to be the same size, especially on a style like this where there is only 4 braids. Your parts are going to matter because there's not that many braids to hide any imperfections. So make sure you take your time. And you can see here that I am still dealing with this part because once I start braiding, I don't want to go back like, oh man, I wish I would have done this with my part, or I wish I would have, taken a little bit more time, or whatever the case may be. Don't be afraid. I say this over and over on my channel, but do not be afraid to take your time on the parting. I notice a lot of times as braiders, we're trying to do everything so quickly. And yes, time is money, okay, in our field. Like obviously the faster you could get a style completed, the more money you are making per hour. So I do understand that, we want to get these styles done quickly, but if we get them done quickly and we lack quality, was a good job really done? Like that's just the type of questions I ask myself. I'm not saying that we should be like spending, 3 hours on a style that should really only take maybe an hour. But if you can take the time to get the parts down and make up for the rest of the time once you actually start braiding, like that's still a win. Let's go ahead. I'm going to mold down this style. I'm going to mold down each side. That's very important. Anytime you're going to be doing stitch braids, you want to make sure that your base is molded. So mold down your sides as you normally would. And then you guys know, if you've watched my videos in the past, I do like to start off with kind of like a triangle piece. This time I really had no choice because of the way that it's shaped. I'm just gonna go ahead, part down the middle. I'm gonna run some gel down that middle. You know, I like to start off with a solid base of braiding at least 3 to 5 times before I start pulling in my stitches. And one thing I noticed that when I did get the gel on his hair, I feel like it kind of like lengthened his hair. So I kind of had a little bit more to work with than what I originally thought, because when he first came in, I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do this. So kind of had to like hype myself up for this one, if I'm being honest, because I really wasn't sure. Like, I just didn't know if his hair was long enough. So if you guys have a length requirement, I want you to just drop your length requirement in the comments, because normally I like to stay around 3 to 4 inches. So anything shorter than that can hurt my wrist. So I try to avoid braiding hair that's shorter than 3 to 4 inches. Let me just tell you this real quick. I have another video on my channel from quite some time ago, and it was like stitch braids on short hair. And that video, I didn't do a voiceover for it, but when I went back and watched it, and I'll leave the link to it here, but when I went back and watched it, I was like, wow, that hair actually was really short. But it was so cool because someone who was 2 hours away from me saw that video, and their hair was also short, and they drove in 2 hours, which is crazy to me. 2 hours for 2 braids. I probably should have done a tutorial on that. I may have. I have to go back and check out the clips. But yeah, so I live in Pennsylvania, and they actually traveled from New York to get 2 braids done from seeing that previous video. So if you want to see that video, like I said, I didn't do a voiceover, but feel free to check it out. I'll leave it in the description section as well. So as you could see, guys, we are getting through this style. We already have the middle done. I was kind of struggling with getting the bottom done because, like, you could see, like, there's really not that much. It was kind of hard to finish off the bottom, but look, we are going to work our way through. I am just cleaning up his side part. So I do have a lot of guy clients who have their sides shaved. My husband is a barber, and so I love when I get clients with their sides shaved because it just gives us an opportunity to do like a 1-2 combo, which we love to do. So like braiding and fading is our thing. My client here today, he actually cuts his own hair. So he has not yet had the opportunity to sit in my husband's chair, but I'm sure one of the next times he comes in, he will definitely have the opportunity to get blessed with a haircut from my husband. Guys, I just put those braids together the best I can. Here you could see the style is done, and I am counting this as a win because I was just shocked that I was even able to do it. So if you have a client that has short hair, don't be afraid, give it a shot, and this could be your outcome. And guys, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please be sure to subscribe. And as always, God bless. I'll talk to you in the next one.